Alexandra Levine Live podcast. Today, we've got a packed show, from breaking news and informative topics that will keep you well informed. So, please click the subscribe button to get notified of her upcoming episodes. If you like what Alexandra talks about, then please share the Alexandra Levine Live podcast with others. Alexandra also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Alexandra Levine Live podcast starts now.
Hey guys, Alexandra Levine here with the America's Pulse Network. As you know, I've been up and down all over the DMV area working with wonderful candidates for the early voting that it started June 11th, ends June 18th. If you want to vote early, you need to vote early. I tell people, do not wait till election day, especially in Democratic states and Democratic counties and districts. Go vote in person, go vote early, do a mail-in ballot. The election judges will try to get you to vote electronically. As you know, the electronic scanners are bogus. They'll switch your vote for you. You can go in, fill out your paper ballot. It does go through a scanner, which I'm completely against, but you have that paper ballot to back you up in case there's problems. If you vote electronically, you don't have that. You don't have that backup. So please, guys, vote early. If you don't know where you're supposed to vote, contact me, Alexandra Levine, or Tim Faisberry, or Kimberly Stansberry, or John Myrick, or people that are running candidates, and they will help you with where you should be voting, or also contact the Board of Elections where you are, whether you're in Baltimore County, Baltimore City, Anne Arundel County, etc. So, as you know, guys, yesterday was Flag Day. It was President Trump's birthday. He celebrated his 80th. Let me tell you something. He's the best looking 80-year-old man I've ever seen. He looks phenomenal. Of course, his gorgeous wife, Melania Trump, was with him last night. President Trump delivered. He said there was going to be a huge UFC fight at the White House, and man, did he deliver. If you didn't watch it on Paramount, I advise you to go back and see if you can watch the repeat, or if it's on YouTube and so forth. There were some really great fights last night. But the beginning of this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on in Israel and Iran, and also how President Trump is currently now at the G7 summit. That man got no sleep last night. He was up till at least 2 o'clock in the morning, and then got on a plane and went over to France for the G7 summit, where on Friday he will sign the agreement that he put together with Iran. President Trump has said Iran will never obtain a nuclear weapon. That is one of the points of the signing of the agreement, is that Iran will not obtain a nuclear weapon. Iran's entire regime and a lot of their nuclear power plants have been completely destroyed. A lot of Jewish people are very concerned about what the state and the future is for the state of Israel, and how will this affect Israel. I can tell you that Bibi Netanyahu and President Trump have been talking on a daily basis about this with people that work under Bibi, as well as Jared Kushner and Stephen Witkoff have been working with the president, as well as Marco Rubio and others, to get some peace here. I give President Trump a lot of credit for putting this together. It is very hard to have, quote, peace, especially with these mullahs. A lot of people are very skeptical about this, quote, peace deal or ceasefire. They feel that, it'll be okay for one day, and then they'll break the ceasefire, 2 days from now. I will state very clearly that Israel does have the right to defend themselves. And Israel has been defending themselves against terrorist organizations for many years, including Hezbollah, CAIR, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Al-Aqsa Martyr Brigade, the Taliban, etc. And there has been a lot of turmoil up in the Lebanese area with Hezbollah. And Israel has pummeled the Hezbollah leaders. They've killed the main Hamas leaders, and they're going to continue to pummel the enemy until they're completely destroyed. Netanyahu is looking out for the best interests of his people and his country, and President Trump is looking out for the best interests of America. As you know, we are going into the midterms. President Trump did not want to lead the midterms or go into the midterms with a huge war going on. Now that he has sealed this peace deal, which he will sign on Friday, we already see oil prices going down, and we're seeing the surge of the stock market right now. NASDAQ, S&P, Dow Jones Industrial they have major highs right now, meaning the stock market is record highs right now. It's very important. Good time to invest, by the way. So I know a lot of people are skeptical about this. I always say, trust the man, trust the plan. And a lot of talks, come out between Netanyahu and Trump. They don't necessarily, they're not supposed to agree on everything. There's always agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, they love each other. Remember, President Trump said he's, for the people. He's a wartime president. Netanyahu is also a wartime prime minister. They're trying to do what's in the best interest of both of their countries. But I can tell you that Israel will not stop until the enemy is completely destroyed. The one thing that we have to ask the Iranian people is, are they going to continue to just sit there and do nothing? Or are they going to take back the regime? That is where, in my opinion, the fault comes, is that the Iranian people have yet to take over their country, have yet to come together, work together to put Reza back in, to put Reza in as the main Shah, like his father was the Shah. Because I was with Reza at CPAC and he said, we're already in transition to put me in. It's up to the Iranian people to make that happen. So I question the Iranian people. I test the Iranian people. I want the Iranian people, let's just put it this way. I want the Iranian people, because I have to be careful what I say, because I say things and then they get twisted, and I have very good voters and very good loyal conservatives out there, and we have to say certain things in a certain way so that people understand, because I've done this for a long time. I've worked in foreign relations for a long time, and I know what's going on behind the scenes, not as just a reporter, but as someone who has family that has been involved in the Israeli government and in Israel for a long time. Everybody is trying to work together to get things done. We will see what happens at the G7 summit. All I say is, let's pray. All I say is, let's, again, take a deep breath. Let's not get too emotional. Let's not get hysterical. Let's see what happens in the coming weeks and the coming months. We will be continuing on with the rest of the show. I will be doing excerpts back and forth of segment 1, segment 2, segment 3. We'll be showing clips in between. So please, guys, stay with us.
America's Pulse Network welcomes you to the Pulse Podcast. Today we've got a packed show, from breaking news to informative topics that will keep you well informed. So, please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the APN's The Pulse Podcast talks about, then please share the Pulse with others. During this episode of The Pulse, the host looks forward to your comments. Tonight's APN's The Pulse Podcast starts now.
Hi guys, Alexandra Levine here with Alexandra Levine Live on the America's Pulse Network. Going into segment 2. As you know, I've been running around on the campaign trail all week. Again, early voting started June 11th. It ends June 18th. Please come out and vote early. Early. We need Republicans out. We got to make it too big to rig. Do not wait till election day. And I want people to vote. I do not want people to say, well, it's Maryland, Democrats are going to win anyway. If everybody thinks that way, if Republicans think that way, we get nothing done. And then they complain that we have the same leadership in year after year and they get nothing done. So please, guys, come early voting. You can see me, you can meet me, you can meet the candidates. This is the time to really get to know the candidates. Exercise your right to vote. Don't wait till the day. Come early voting. So, like I said, I've been campaigning all over Baltimore County this entire week. I've been to Dundalk, I've been to Reisterstown, Owings Mills, all over the place, even Baltimore City. I'll be honest with you, the turnout has been very low for Republicans. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, especially when you don't want incumbents in. I know a lot of people are fed up with the incumbents, but there are some incumbents that do really good things. But the problem is that because there's like 3 delegates to a district, the other 2 delegates out of the 3 make the one delegate that actually does a great job. It overshadows what the great delegate is doing. So I can tell you, there's some great delegates out there, like Delegate Bob Long in Dundalk. He's got Edgemere, he's got Essex, he's got Sparrows Point. Great guy. He's done a lot for his community. He's got a great, strong base. He really wants to rebuild very quickly the Francis Scott Key Memorial Bridge. He also wants to help Fort Howard, and also wants to get back to our veterans and not have it not allow Section 8 into Fort Howard or allowed developers to put Section 8 at Fort Howard, which is a historical federal landmark. It's disgusting, totally disgusting that Democrats and establishment rhinos, there's Mr. Delegate Rick Metzger and State Senator Johnny Ray Salling and former Baltimore County Executive Johnny Oshevsky, who's now the congressman, they pushed for affordable housing, pushed for it at Fort Howard. Rob from the rich, give to the poor. Also, Rick Metzger and Johnny Ray Salling, they pushed for Section 8 housing at St. Rita's Church, which is a beautiful area in Baltimore County. Now, what does that do? That takes the beautiful properties that are worth $500 to $600,000 and lowers the value of the homes because they put Section 8 housing there next to a church. And there's a mosque there too. There's a huge mosque in Dundalk. I went to one of the early voting sites to go to the bathroom, and these two women were dressed in burqas, completely covered with just their eyes showing. I felt like it was in Gaza. That is the doing of the establishment rhinos. Todd Crandall, who was the Baltimore County councilman in Dundalk and Essex, who stepped down. Thank God he's retiring, and Tim Fazenbaker will take over his seat coming next January. He will be sworn in as the next Baltimore County councilman in District 9. I mean, Todd Crandall is the reason for all of this crap, too. He's a part of the developers, too. He's a part of the Section 8, too. The guy absolutely did nothing but, all he was doing was literally drinking on the job. He had an alcohol problem. He was in rehab for a year and a half. Didn't tell anybody. And his advisors, they didn't tell anybody. They totally hid it from the public until the Baltimore Banner came out with a piece and revealed it. And thank God for the Baltimore Banner for that. But we got to get the right people in office, guys. We got to get people that are doers. So I have been campaigning, like I said, all over the places. You know, I'm the political consultant for Tim Fazenbaker, but I was his campaign manager before. But he is a real conservative. He gives a darn about the community. He cares about Fort Howard. He and Frank Niehoff and Kim Stansberry and Henry Ziskowski and Daniel Eisenhart and Bob Long and others have been fighting to preserve Fort Howard. I was just at Fort Howard yesterday, and we have the clips to show where I was. I literally was on the grounds at Fort Howard. I was not allowed to go into the VA hospital. It's completely guarded, gated, barbed wire. Some kids jumped the fence, I heard. They told me I could jump the fence if I wanted to, but there's toxins and toxic waste on the grounds near the VA hospital, on the grounds of the VA hospital. It was burned in an arsenal years ago, and the elected officials and the former Congressman Dutch Ruppersberger, who was a part of the Armed Services Committee, did absolutely nothing to redo and rebuild that hospital. What does Tim Fazenbaker and Bob Long and Kim Stansberry want to do, and Frank Niehoff want to go in there and rebuild that hospital, want to go in there and help our veterans and give it back to the veterans. What Tim and I are currently doing is we are in contact and contacting the Trump administration, but the Trump administration knows what we're doing. They know what's up because, as you know, I'm a White House correspondent for America's Pulse Network. So I have been constantly emailing Caroline Leavitt and the Trump administration about Fort Howard to literally make Fort Howard a part of Fort McKinley, to make it a federal national park so that the state cannot touch it. Now, the elected officials, Johnny Ray Salling and Metzger, will lie to you and say that county rule overrides state rule. That is 100% not true. State always overrides county, but federal always overrides state. So Tim and I have been in constant contact with Doug Collins, who's the Secretary of the Department of Veterans Affairs, as well as Doug Burkham, who's the Secretary of Interior, as well as Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, and Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, to literally help our veterans to restore Fort Howard, to make Fort Howard a federal national park forever, so that it goes back to the veterans and not to Section 8 housing and not to illegals, because the Section 8 housing is not just for low-income families. It is specifically for illegals, and that's what Westmore is not telling you. And like I said, I put a whole video together about this. And as I was putting the video together, there was a bunch of voters. There was people in their cars that stopped and heard what I had to say. They loved what I had to say. I got votes for some of my candidates because I talked to a lot of those voters. But some of the voters didn't even know what was going on. When I told them, they're like, oh my God, holy crap, we cannot have Section 8 here. So if you guys care about Fort Howard, if you guys care about history, do not allow this. And as a result, we had a flag rally, which was put together by Frank Niehoff in front of Sparrows Point Middle School / High School, and we were rallying for Fort Howard. There were American flags there. We had a lot of honks. There was like 60 to 70 people. It was phenomenal. It was great. It was a come together moment. So please, guys, when you are looking at who you're going to vote for, Kimberly Stansbury for Baltimore County Executive. Her husband was a Vietnam vet. He died of Agent Orange. He served our nation. He served it well. John Myrick served our nation, part of the government, and worked in government. His wife is an immigration judge in the government. She's military. She's currently serving. We appreciate her service. These people are people that actually know what they're doing. They're smart about the issues. Brenda Champ, she loves our veterans. She loves the military, and she wants to help our veterans too. And it's so important, again, that we get the right people in office. Delegate Bob Long, please re-elect him. Daniel Eisenhart, please elect him. He is running against that damn rhino, Johnny Salling, who is a part of the Section 8 housing and works with developers. J.D. Urbach works with developers. He works with Himmelrich. He got money from Himmelrich. He got money from all these developers. All these developers are evil effing people that are just trying to make money off you, the people, and want to put Section 8 housing because it's a lot of money in their pockets. Don't allow that to happen. Really look into people's campaign finance reports and see where the money, see who's giving the money, and it's called Show Me the Money, and it's called Look Where the Money's Coming From. You will never see any developer money, PAC money coming from Tim Fazenbaker. No way. That's why you got to put him in office. Everybody knows that he is the hope for sorry, there's lights going on. I don't know why. He is the hope for District 9. The hope. Stay with us, guys. We'll be going into segment 3. Don't forget my 2 sponsors, rncstore.com/ALL. Put in ALL, get 10% off. We got 4th of July. Father's Day is coming up next weekend. Don't forget to give your father something. Don't forget to wish your father Happy Father's Day. It's not Happy Sperm Donor Day. It's Happy Father's Day. And don't forget foliumpx.com. That is another one of my sponsors. It's a super antioxidant, great natural path stuff. If you're trying to get pregnant, if you have cancer, if you've had cancer, these are great things to detox. Stay with us, guys. Hey guys, this is Alexandra Levine. I'm here at Victory Villa Community Center here in Middle River. It is still early voting until 8 p.m. Early voting starts from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. until June 18th, which is a Thursday. Please, guys, come down here and vote for Delegate Bob Long, Henry Ziskowski for Delegate, as well as Daniel Eisenhart for State Senate, Kimberly Stansbury for Baltimore County Executive. And if you have voters here in District 9, which there are some Republican voters here from District 9, please vote for Tim Fazenbaker for Baltimore County Council District 9. For governor, I recommend John Myrick and Brenda Cham. Please, guys, come on down, express your right to vote, and make it too big to rig. Thank you. Hi, I'm Alexandra Levine. I'm a professional opera singer, actress, TV, and radio personality. Since 2015, I've been a volunteer, a field director, and a campaign manager, learning the ins and outs of the political world. That's why I became a political consultant. My job is to lead you to victory with organization, structure, and the mindset of winning for your district or state. With my guidance and direction, I can keep you focused on the things that matter to the people and advise you on key issues that need to be addressed. If you're a serious candidate that is serious about winning, then book a consultation with me today. Go to levineconsulting.co. You'll be happy you did. Hey guys, this is segment 3 with Alexandra Levine live with the America's Pulse Network. President Trump had his birthday yesterday, celebrated 250 years of America, UFC fight. I hope you guys got the subscription on Paramount or watched it on YouTube or whatever channel you could. It was a sold out, packed arena, and the fights were really good. And I had the opportunity, and I was invited to go there in person, but because I was campaigning and I didn't get home till very late, and I ate dinner late up in Pikesville, I wasn't able to go. But let me tell you something, it was really fun to watch it on my laptop last night, and I stayed up till 1 a.m, and President Trump did too. We all watched it till the end. And of course, the highlight was one of the fighters said, Michelle Obama is a man. And of course, that's gone viral. And there's a clip of that after I speak. But please, guys, it's very important to understand what's going on right now.
And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
history has been taking place. I mean, we've never had a president put a UFC fight together literally on the White House lawn. I mean, this man is making history every day, but he's having fun doing it too. And he's not giving up, his activities and what he loves to do. But at the same time, he did this because he got the deal with Iran and he wanted to get this in on his birthday. So he had a very happy birthday, very happy 80th, in addition to having UFC and hosting UFC at the White House. So, like I said, President Trump looks darn good for 80 years old. I hope I live to 80 and I look as good as him. And I look as good as Melania because she's gorgeous and fabulous. Of course, the president's entire family was there. His friends were there. Joe Rogan was one of the announcers. Dana White, of course, was there because he runs UFC. And, of course, a lot of these fighters, they love President Trump. And they came up and they shook his hand and they said, USA, USA. USA, USA was being chanted all around the arena in D.C. So thank you, President Trump, for putting that event together. Beautiful, smart, miraculous, never seen anything like it. And people who have never watched UFC before, oh my God, UFC made so much money last night, so did Paramount. I mean, people were just downloading it because they just wanted to see what the noise was all about. So it was really great that President Trump put that up there. But I can't emphasize enough to you guys about the candidates. These establishment rhinos and these Democrats have hurt the state of Maryland for many, many, many years. And I have a lot of friends that bitch and complain about, oh my God, Maryland sucks and I want to leave. And oh my God, Westmore is a piece of crap. And what are we going to do? Well, if you bitch and complain, you get nothing done. And then I have a lot of friends that are, Jewish Republicans that were like asked by a Jewish group to change parties to Democrat to vote for Delia Tarr in the primary, because she's running against this pro BDS Jewish guy, anti-Jew Jew. You don't do that. That's not what you do. Dahlia has a base. Dahlia is the incumbent. Yes, there was some drama with Dahlia, and she's got to atone for it, and she's got to explain herself. I mean, I think the charges were dropped, or nothing's really I think the last report that I read is that the charges were dropped and nothing's going forward with her. I think she got a damn good attorney to clear her name, but we'll see what happens. But again, it's up to the voters to decide. I don't think changing your party to try to win, or changing your party because you're afraid that this socialist guy is going to come in, is going to help. The point is, you have to recruit proper people. You have to make sure that you recruit powerful candidates so you don't get these crazies, or if you do get these crazies, you have a good enough incumbent or a good enough candidate to combat these crazies. I mean, we have this guy, Ed Hale Sr. He's like 80 years old. He has been a lifelong Democrat. He was originally going to run as a Democrat in the primary against Westmore in Maryland. He realized that he could not win against Westmore. So during the campaign cycle, he decided to change his party to Republican because he says, I can do a better job and I can win more as a Republican than a Democrat. And the argument that people are telling me, they're comparing him to Donald Trump, which you can't. They're comparing him to non-politicians that switch parties. The difference is that the non-politicians that switch parties, they didn't switch parties during a campaign cycle because they couldn't win as a Democrat against Westmore. That's what I don't understand, why people are they're just trying to make excuses. And let me tell you something. I've talked to Ed Hale Jr. He gives the same speech, the same scripted speech to every Republican woman he talks to. He's very seductive. He seduces a lot of these Republican women to get on his side. He claims he's always been a conservative, loved Donald Trump, but he had to be a Democrat in Baltimore to be as successful as he is today. Let me tell you something, that is bull crap. Because my parents and my family were Republicans. They owned very successful businesses in the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area, the same time as Ed Hale. And they were all Republicans and they were very successful. It does not matter what party you're in. My father became a Republican. My father was a Republican, Father was a Republican in Florida, Jewish guy, didn't know anybody, and worked his ass off to make I won't say, because I don't really discuss my parents, I'm very modest, but let's just say my family's very well to do. And my father worked his ass off and owned 3 very successful businesses plus a very successful LLC as a Republican Jew in a very hardcore Christian area that wouldn't allow Jews to practice in country clubs or own businesses in the late 70s and 80s. But my dad worked his butt off and worked with Republicans, Democrats, Independents, all over the place. I mean, my father didn't become a Republican because he felt he could be more successful. He became a Republican because he felt the Republican Party resonated with him, especially when it came to the economy. But most of his Jewish friends were Democrats, and they were doctors and lawyers. Let me tell you something, my father was much more successful than them, and they were pissed. My father pulled up in a brand new Lincoln, 2 brand new Lincolns. And this doctor who was driving a jalopy said to my father, "Where do you come off driving 2 brand new Lincolns?" My dad said, "I own my own practice and I worked my ass off." You don't own your own practice. Or I think they own their own practice, but they didn't work as hard as my father. My father knew it. Financial industry, it's a very lucrative industry as compared to being a lawyer and a doctor. And it's just asinine to me. But there are actually Jewish Democrats that became Republican because they felt the Republican Party resonated. That had nothing to do with, I can become a better business owner. Ed Hale has always been a Democrat, will always be a Democrat, even though he switched parties to Republican. He is a Democrat. He will do Larry Hogan's bidding. Now, people don't believe me. Ed Hale says, "I hate Larry Hogan," but yet he's best friends with Larry Hogan's brother, and he doesn't discuss Trump on the campaign trail. And he also said he will not back anybody else if he doesn't win the primary, and he won't debate his opponents. And he has told me he's got, a young girl that he sleeps with down in Florida on the side. She's like 27 years old. He doesn't, won't bring her up to Maryland. She won't come up to Maryland. And he won't, when he goes down to Florida, he won't even, he hits on other women, from different cities. He said to one woman, "I hope you don't live in the same city as my other girlfriend lives in." That's what he says. I'm listening to these Republican women, and they're telling me the same script that the man told me. He doesn't seduce me. He doesn't do it for me. He claims he's a billionaire, and my friends are like, no, he's not. So a lot of it is all talk and no action. But I'm telling you, do not vote for this man just because of the story, the facade. Has he talked about Donald Trump at all on the campaign trail? Has he talked about Israel? Has he done anything for the Jewish community? No. Jewish Republicans do not vote for Ed Hale Jr., vote for John Myrick. John Myrick and I have discussed in detail about combating anti-Semitism, and Brenda Cham has come to a lot of my events, rallying for Israel, combating anti-Semitism. These are the people that need to be in office. Not a guy who was a Democrat his whole life and just woke up and said, "I'm going to be a Republican because that's the only way I can win." John Myrick and Brenda have been campaigning for almost 2 years, all over the state. The reason that, that he's not resonating, or the reason that people are they're shitting on John, is because they're attacking his wardrobe, and they're saying that they don't like his personality. Well, let me tell you something. I introduced him to strangers from different states and different counties yesterday, and he was at the Fort Howard rally. Ed Hale was done. It's right in his freaking backyard. And Sailing and Metzger weren't there either, and Robin Grammer wasn't there either. And it was right in their backyard. They could have showed up. Even Todd Crandall didn't show up. And he's gone. He's retiring. So he could have showed up, but whatever. So J.D. Urbach didn't show up either, by the way. That tells you a lot. So anyway, Ed Hale hasn't discussed the issues that I've discussed on the campaign trail. Like I said, he wins a lot of people over with a lot of what he says. "Oh, Trump and I are friends. I hosted him at my house for pageants." Well, I'm at the White House. I will ask President Trump if he remembers Ed Hale, knows Ed Hale, what does he think of Ed Hale? But I'm telling you guys, we got to vote the right people in. If you're in Baltimore County, you vote for, and you're in Dundalk, Essex, Edgemere, you vote for Tim Fazenbaker for Baltimore County Council District 9. That's the very MAGA district. Only Tim Fazenbaker. State delegates, Bob Long, he's the incumbent. Henry Ziskowski, those are the two. A lot of my friends are voting for Bobby Berger as well, because it's the best of 3. So if you're going to do 3, I would do Bob Long, Bobby Berger, and Henry Ziskowski. That's up to you. But definitely we want to put Bob Long in there, or keep him in there, I should say. And Henry Ziskowski is phenomenal. He served our military. If you are also in Baltimore County, for Baltimore County Executive, please vote for Kimberly Stansberry, wonderful woman, clean record, great woman, has done a lot for the community. Her husband served our nation. She's a grandma. She's a mother. She's a mama bear, a grandma bear, awesome lady. And she can relate to a lot of people, especially in Baltimore City. She grew up, and went to schools, and in some of the very harsh areas in Baltimore County, Baltimore City. So she knows, and she relates a lot to the people there. Please vote for John Myrick and Brendan Sham for governor of Maryland. He's the best candidate. I'm telling you, he's the best candidate. He knows his stuff. He's extremely knowledgeable. Please vote for Daniel Eisenhart to remove and vote and primary out this horrific rhino sailing, who has actually gone to the police and made up crap and tried to get peace orders on his opponent and on a private citizen and another elected official because he's a bully and he's afraid he's going to lose. He is a bully and he breaks the rules. Get Rick Metzger out of office. The guy was 300 pounds and he had to go on Ozempic because he has got heart problems. The doctor was like, you eat one more morsel of food, you're done. So please, guys, please vote for the right people. It's very important that we get the right people in office. We have Shep. We have a lot of other great people involved as well that are running. But again, these are hardcore conservative, real conservative Republicans in Baltimore County and Maryland. Please vote for Sam Rosenblum for Frederick County School Board. Our friend Jack, who's Frederick County at large, Frederick County Council at large. Sorry, I'm trying to remember everybody because there were so many people. And then, of course, our good friend Justin Murphy, who won the primary. Every Republican needs to back Justin Murphy. I don't care if your guy didn't win. He's the Republican nominee, tough. And Damon Galdo, I don't care that he ran unopposed. He's still the Republican nominee for the congressional district. All the Republicans should be backing him. And independents should be backing him too. And moderate Democrats should be backing him too. Let's get these horrible people out of office. Please. And donate to their campaigns. They're going to need money after the primary too. But the people I mentioned won their primaries. As a rule of their central committees and their state parties, they should be endorsing them, giving them money, supporting them. I hope the money is flooding towards Justin right now. I hope the money is flooding towards Damon Galdo right now. And when Tim Fazenbaker and Kim Stansbury win, the money better frickin' flow by the MD GOP. I know the central committees aren't going to do anything. The Tim Central Committee is not going to do a damn thing for him. And they won't do a damn thing for Kim either because they're a bunch of rhinos. They actually tried to permanently remove Tim from his central committee 3 days before early voting because they're pieces of crap. That's how horrible these people are. They tried to remove him based on freedom of speech. Disgusting. And because his primary opponent, who I won't say his name, is a weasel, and he's part of the problem, and he's in bed with Todd Crandall and the establishment, Metzger and Sailing. And a lot of these establishment rhinos, they endorsed Ed Hale Jr. I mean, I keep saying Ed Hale Jr. Ed Hale Sr. Ed Hale Jr. is his son who's supposedly a, quote, Republican. He's really a rhino. So get these rhinos out of office. I've had some, interesting conversations with people. I will not allow anti-Semites or people of the alt-right movement of the Republican Party to get in office. Please vote for Congressman Randy Fine because he's running against this alt-right crazy. And in Maine, you cannot have Plattner as the senator. I'm not a fan of Susan Collins, but she's not an anti-Semite, and she's never spewed any anti-Semitic rhetoric like this Plattner guy has done. He's disgusting. He's a freaking Nazi. And the Democrat Party is now becoming the party of Nazis. So that's why when all these Jewish Republicans were told to switch parties, they don't understand. When you switch party, you're switching into their ideology. You're switching into the Nazism. You're switching into the socialism. You can justify it any way you want. But once you switch parties, you represent the Democrat Party. That means that you're a part of their crap. I would never in my life be a Democrat. Ever. I don't care how much you paid me. I would never. I don't want to be associated with that type of people. I don't want to be associated with that party. I don't want to be in the party of Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders and AOC. Hell no, because once you switch parties, you are a part of that. Those type of people, the Tim Walzes of the world, the Josh Shapiros of the world. You can, like I said, you can label yourself any way you want. But I would rather be in President Trump's party than anything else. And also, as the new conservative for the White House, if I become a Democrat, I'd probably lose my position at the White House. So to me, it's not worth it. So thank you guys for the show. I'm sorry I couldn't be there live. Like I said, I've been campaigning. Please, guys, vote early if you're in Maryland, especially Baltimore County, Baltimore City, anywhere you are. If you don't know where you're supposed to vote, let me know. Please go to Alexandra Levine on Facebook, Alexandra Levine 20 on X, at A.L.L Levine 85 on True Social, on Parler, on TikTok. Where else am I on? I said True Social. I'm on all the, I can't even remember, Substack, Spotify. I'm on all the major networks. And again, don't forget to follow at America's Pulse Network. Like and subscribe to us. We're always looking for sponsors. We're always looking for more people to expand on our network. Don't forget to watch us on the Pulse every Wednesday night from 8 to 9. Sometimes we go 8 to 9:30. We also have my show on Thursday night. I will not be live on Thursday night because I'm driving back from Maryland. I'll be driving to another state because I've just been, I'm a consultant. We're in political time. We are in what we call campaign mode. I'm working on multiple different campaigns, not just in Maryland, but nationwide. My political consulting firm is a nationwide consulting firm. And we go everywhere. So you'll be seeing me from state to state. Also, guys, don't forget to put your plans together for 4th of July. Don't forget, next Sunday is Father's Day. Also, we have the Jersey Shore every Monday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Don't forget to follow David Galdo and give him money. And thank you guys for watching. And the reason you listen, the reason you watch, is you are no idiot. Well, hello everyone. Hello, this is Alexandra Levine at Reisterstown Community. We are off of Reisterstown Road. I am here representing Kimberly Stansberry for Baltimore County Executive. They have some Republicans down here. Each Republican has been asking who is the county executive for on the Republican side, and it's Kimberly Stansberry, everybody. Kimberly Stansberry is an amazing human being. She comes from a wonderful family, and her husband served our nation. He was in Vietnam, and he's also on the back of our card. She's got 2 beautiful children. That's her gorgeous daughter and son-in-law and 2 grandchildren. So she's a mom and a grandma. You need to come down here to Reisterstown. You need to vote for Kimberly Stansberry, Republican, for Baltimore County Executive. Get on down here, guys. Come see what I'm wearing. Come see what's going on down here. It's a beautiful day here. There are people coming in here. We do have Republicans coming here. So please, guys, make it your business to come down here and vote early. And when you do vote early, ask for a paper ballot. Do not vote electronically. The electronic voting system, as we know, changes your vote. We know this. When you vote electronically, it will change your vote. So vote with a ballot and get a receipt after that ballot is scanned. Please, guys, paper ballots all the way. Vote for Kimberly Stansberry, Republican, for Baltimore County Executive. Thanks so much. Hey guys, this is Alexandra Levine. I'm here at Victory Villa Community Center here in Middle River. It is still early voting until 8 p.m. Early voting starts from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. until June 18th, which is a Thursday. Please, guys, come down here and vote for Delegate Bob Long, Henry Ziskowski for Delegate, as well as Daniel Eisenhart for State Senate, Kimberly Stansberry for Baltimore County Executive. And if you have voters here in District 9, which there are some Republican voters here from District 9, please vote for Tim Fazenmaker for Baltimore County Council District 9. For governor, I recommend John Myrick and Brenda Cham. Please, guys, come on down, express your right to vote, and make it too big to rig. Thank you. Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine. I'm live at the Veterans Administration Medical Center, Fort Howard. Behind me, which you cannot go to, it's all blocked off and it's all full of toxins right now, is the old VA hospital, which was burnt down in an arsenal fire many years ago. And as you know, the current elected officials and the past elected officials, such as former Congressman Dutch Ruppersberger, did absolutely nothing to repair the VA hospital. Again, I emphasize to you again, we are doers. I'm a doer. Tim Fazenmaker, Kimberly Stansberry, Frank Niehoff, Delegate Bob Long, John Myrick, and others, Henry Ziskowski. We are doers. And we want to fix this VA hospital. We want to rebuild it and give it back to the veterans. We do not want Section 8 housing coming into this area to hurt our veterans. Section 8 housing, and the governor will not tell you this, is not just for low-income families. It is for housing illegals. You don't want illegals running around Fort Howard. You see what happens when illegals come into your country. You see what happens when Section 8 housing goes into historic landmarks, historic places, or very well-to-do areas. This is why we are so heavily involved with the Trump administration, working with Doug Collins, who is the Secretary of the Department of Veterans Affairs, and Doug Burkham, who is the Secretary of the Interior, to make sure that we preserve Fort Howard and we rebuild this hospital for the veterans. Again, happy Flag Day. God bless America. And thank you, President Trump. Happy birthday, President Trump.
Alexandra, thanks you for watching tonight's Alexandra Levine live podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to informative topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified for upcoming episodes. If you like what the Alexandra talked about, then share the Alexandra Levine live podcast with others. Alexandra also looks forward to seeing you on the next upcoming episode.